Hello, everyone. My name is Asha Bandele, and I'm a senior editor here at NewsOne, where we've been running an urgent series about Black child suicide. Our children's rates of death by suicide have and continue to rise higher and faster than any other groups. In this conversation, I want to talk about that with a woman who founded and is leading an organization, the National Cares Mentoring Movement, to help our most harmed and marginalized young ones heal from the traumas foisted upon them, traumas that drive depression. That woman is an icon, beloved to us across the generations. She is the legendary editor-in-chief emerita of Essence magazine, Susan L. Taylor. Susan left Essence in 2008 to grow what had begun as Essence Cares into National Cares. Some were surprised by the shift, but those of us like me, who've been blessed to have been mentored by Susan, weren't surprised. Susan helped guide me home to myself when I was in desperate need, and with that, let me simply say, welcome. Welcome, Susan Taylor.
Oh, Asha Bandele, my beloved one. It is my honor and my joy to be with you, and, to have an opportunity to really talk about the things that matter most to our community and our people. And you're just always so spot on. So thank you for reaching out to me, as you always do.
So let me begin, I think, at the beginning. At a moment that you chose to hand the reins to a new generation of editors at Essence and dedicate yourself fully to this huge national effort, why didn't you just choose to sit under a palm tree in the Caribbean and live life on your own terms and own time?
Well, don't tempt me now. But I'll tell you, it was the horrific outcomes, and they continue today, of Hurricane Katrina. It devastated New Orleans. It ruined the lives and took the lives of people who had worked with us on the Essence Music Festival. And of course, New Orleans is the home of the festival. And I said to the Essence family, you were there. We have to do something more than what we've been doing. We always had our empowerment seminars that brought wisdom and information about relationships and spirituality and financial, mobility to people. But we needed to do something else for the children. Because what Katrina did was it pulled the covers off of poverty in this nation in a way that most of us had never seen. And mentoring seemed to be the immediate and most effective solution that we could offer, to ask people who were at the Essence Fest to go back to their respective cities and to join mentoring organizations. Get into the schools, find organizations that are already mentoring, and ask if you could join. You don't need to start anything new. Link arms with folks who are doing this work already, and let's go and rescue and uplift our babies. So that's how the whole notion of Essence Cares began, that is now transitioned into the National Cares Mentoring Movement.
And how many affiliates are there now?
We're at 58 affiliates around the country, from San Francisco and San Diego, across to Miami and up to Boston.
But not only that, mentors have been trained, culturally anchored with CARE's own unique curricula. How many young people has CARES reached at this juncture?
Well, we have recruited over 200,000 mentors and impacted the lives of over 300,000 young people. And I'm so glad that you mentioned, the cultural anchoring of our curriculum, because that's what makes it special. I mean, there are a lot of programs out there that do, mentoring, and they do it well. But our experience as African Americans is unique. So what we're doing with our curriculum is healing the generations of trauma that live inside of us and inside of our children, because we're not only providing that healing space for our mentees, we're trying to do the very same thing for the mentors. So the cultural anchoring is the most important piece. It's effective because they feel at home with us. They come home to themselves, as you said in the very beginning, coming home to ourselves. That's really what it's all about.
And that's particularly urgent right now because the rate of black children dying by suicide is rising higher and faster than any other groups. I know that there are any number of drivers that are especially apparent when children are 11, 12, or older. What do we need to know about the public education campaign you're working on at National Cares?
It's a tragedy that can be prevented, you know? So, what we are planning to do is to really train everyday people in how to support our young. We're raising money to do this. We're going into communities, and we can do it virtually. Technology just allows so much today to train people to sit in circles with our young people, to let them have their say, to listen to them. I reached out to Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who put me in touch with Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman from New Jersey. And she said, "We've heard from so many people, but we've not heard from the children. Can you bring them?" And so we brought those who had survived attempted suicide to Capitol Hill. And I want to tell you, it was such a profound sharing. What they said, the essence of what they said was, look at us, see us. You can see the sadness in our faces. Ask us how we're doing. And primarily, Asha, what they said was, stop criticizing us. When you criticize us, we can't tell you the truth. We can't tell you what we're feeling. We can't tell you what we're experiencing. Bullying is a huge part of what makes young people so sad. And there's such mean-spiritedness now that's being celebrated. Social media plays a very, very large part in the depression that people, young people especially, are experiencing. And what we have to do, I think, as adults, and what CARES is doing, is helping our young people to think critically. And we're not saying don't listen to this music, but think critically about what is real and what is right and what is sane. We're focused on truth telling, on embracing our young, and helping them to understand that they have the power within themselves and with our anchoring to heal themselves.
The other thing we need to know, as difficult as may be, is that we got to talk about it. We got to talk about our mental wellness, our mental health, depression, and even suicidal ideation. Just that discussion helps reduce the incidence of completed suicides.
That's right. I saw some data that said just listening to a young person, 30 minutes of listening can reduce the possibility of suicidal ideation.
What I love about CARES is that you gathered the brilliant ones from across a range of fields: medical, the arts, advocacy, education, wellness, more than that. And you all developed a real blueprint for recovery. Once that framework was set, you turned to one of your community action partners, the Association of Black Psychologists, to investigate what was happening now that caused this terrible pain in our children. Who took the lead on that investigation?
The society that helped to raise young people who may have grown up in poverty 40 years ago does not exist today. Our communities are gentrified. The folks who were maybe the stability in the community have gone. So children are really left. So we're really employing people. Go to caresmentoring.org, caresmentoring.org. Get involved with us or with a mentoring organization in your community. And let's go get our babies. This is our work, it's our mandate, it's our mission, and we have the power to do it.
Susan, if we have any young people right now within reach of your beautiful voice, please speak directly to them.
Learn to love what God made. Learn to love what life made as you. The Holy Spirit created you. Give thanks for that. And learn how to develop all the gifts and talents that you have. That's your lifelong pursuit. I'm still on that journey.
Susan Taylor, I cannot remember a time that I didn't love you. Thank you for all the work you have and continue to do on behalf of Black communities. Thank you for loving me so well. And thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you, Asha, for inviting me to spend this time with you.
To learn more about National Cares Mentoring Movement, you can go to www.caresmentoring.org. And on behalf of all of us at NewsOne and iOne Digital, Thank you for joining Susan and I for this important, meaningful conversation.